Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another video over here on the Chinese Zodiac and horoscopes. Today we're going to be doing a reading for you guys born in the year of the pig. So welcome back, all my piggy pals, my boar buddies. How are we doing? Let's find out as we move these around, shuffle them around, and we pick three for you guys. Let's see, shall we? Let's stop about there. And we'll take that one from the bottom, we'll take that one from the middle, we'll take that one from the top. What have we got? Okay, so we've got a black, white, black. That white in the middle there, surrounded by the negatives, doesn't look too great, does it? Looks a bit awkward and uncomfortable, but that's okay, because white isn't always all right. He could be right in at home there with those blacks, but equally so, he could be the odd one out, because the blacks might not be in attack. It all depends on that compatibility when we flip them over. So we're going to start off here with the dog. A protection card, a communicator, but not a bad card for a pig person. They actually they get on relatively well, dogs and pigs. There's no serious personality clashes, but we are seeing it in the black there, in that negative. So I think maybe potentially you're dealing with something that is maybe disloyal or non-trustworthy. I think right now it's hard for you to accept something, like you're in denial about something. Maybe you can't agree on something. The facts just don't add up. Everything's feeling a little bit suspicious. I think right now, as you're moving forward, your priority should be trying to figure out what doesn't belong. Because there's something here that doesn't belong. And it's something that's got deep emotional attachments to you, whether it's a partner, a family member, a friend, or something that is important to you. Something's off with it. And I think it's got something to do with maybe loyalties or trust or some sort of issue like this. And I think you need to kind of, I don't know, I would say communicate about it, talk about it. If you know who it is, if you know what this is about, then definitely open the lines of communication. Definitely. I feel right now you're feeling a little bit conflicted. You're feeling a little bit at war with yourself. You're kind of like maybe regretting something you've done and getting all depressed about the past. And now you're worrying about things you've got to do and getting all anxious about the future. And presently, you're not paying attention to what's going on around you. We've got that almost suspicious kind of feeling of doubt. And there's doubts there. I don't know what it is that you're kind of up against right now, but it's definitely something that you don't want to admit. Like you doubt it, you don't trust it, you think it's not being loyal or it's not working for you. But you think that if you can ignore it and you wait long enough, that will change. And you think that potentially not addressing it is a better idea, which it's not. Communication is definitely something that you do need to focus on. 100%. 110%. There's that dog coming in the white there to turn things around a little bit. But what we're not seeing this going from bad to good. We're seeing this here as a balance. This is a balance. They're working together there. The two dogs, black and white, working together to bring balance and almost sort of like understanding and comprehension to the table. You open those lines of communication. The communication is going to help. The communication is going to work for you. You can talk this through. There'll be resolution. You can actually see, a light at the end of the tunnel. This is something that means a lot to you. And the sooner you address this and the sooner you put it to bed, the better. Because you may find out that there was no reason for your suspicion. You may feel that there was no reason for you to not trust whatever it is that you don't trust. Maybe you're just having a funny 5 minutes. Maybe you're just feeling a little bit, I don't know, influenced by outside parties. Maybe it was just a rumor. Maybe it was just someone causing, problems and stirring shit, Maybe there is something going on where it's not even involving you, but you've misheard, or the lines of communication, as I say, weren't open enough for you to actually understand the ins and outs of everything that was going on. Now you've got the facts. You can get the facts. If you open up the lines of communication, you start talking about things, then we can see this then turn around. But as I say, that's not what this is. This isn't bad going into good. This is just balance of the whole thing. This is see it all perspectives. This is kind of good, bad, and the ugly all thrown into a pot. That's what that is. We're still going to be in a negative space after this, through this, before and after. It's just going to stay in that place for this foreseeable. But that's not all doom and gloom. I mean, we haven't flipped that black card over yet, but it's not all doom and gloom because it changes every week. And there has to be balance. We can't always be white. It's not always going to be black. It's going to change. But what we can see here is that we've got two dogs. We've got a negative and we've got a positive. We've got the dog that you can encourage to fight, to growl, to bark, to ignore the problem and hope that the enemy at the gate just goes away at the barking and growling alone. Or you can go in and actually resolve the problem and deal with the intruder head on and actually start making a presence and making yourself known and saying, "Oi, what are you doing hanging around my bushes, mate?" Chances are you're going to solve the problem. Dog's going to stop barking. You can go back to your happy, happy day. So it's either one or the other. Ignore the dog barking or actually acknowledge what it's barking at. As I say, we're still going to come into this negative place, but it's not all bad. It's not all bad at all because we've got that rabbit card coming in. That rabbit may be in the negative, but it's not a bad card for a dog. It's a catalyst card, so things are going to change and you're going to find yourself coming out of this. You're going to find yourself in a more comfortable place and relatively quickly as well. In fact, the rabbit is not a bad card for pig people. You're going to find yourself coming out of this relatively quickly. You're in the same affinity triangle. That rabbit card goes kind of hand in hand with pig people. It's going to drag you out of that place. It's going to move you from that place quickly. That's what the rabbit catalyst does. Moves you quickly. Moves you from one place to another. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be the most comfortablest. And you will have to rip that band-aid off. And when you do, it's going to be slightly painful. But, you are going to be able to get the resolution. You are going to get answers. There's going to be some sort of, maybe not what you expect, but there is going to definitely be some resolution here. Finally, some clarity. Some closure, maybe. And I think that's what you're needing. So say we're in this place here where we've got the two dogs which are trying to get you to communicate about stuff, get you talking. The rabbit is also a communicator. The rabbit and the dog are actually soulmates. They go together relatively perfectly to a degree. And all of this is communication based, being a bit more open with talking and expressing yourself. The rabbit and the boar, they'll bring balance to each other's lives. And that's what we're seeing here is balance. Balance. Black and white. Yin and yang. And that's what that rabbit's going to bring in. Balance for you. There's going to be a good opportunity to salvage some things. There's going to be trust there again, I feel. But it's not going to be the way that you expect. It's not going to potentially be an example that I could have. An example that I could potentially give you, and this is not me saying this is what's going to happen, but potentially this is something I could give you as an example. There was a lack of communication. There was a shutdown somewhere. There was a lack of trust, suspicion, maybe some sort of Chinese whispers, he said, she said bullshit. It then went down through the line. You got it through the grapevine, and now you've gone and challenged that particular person and said, "I've heard this about you." Turns out it wasn't true. But the fact that you've accused them, you may have resolved the problem of, oh, I don't have to be suspicious of that person anymore. But because you've accused them, that person no longer wants to affiliate themselves with you. It's that type of thing. I mean, that sounds a bit drastic, I know, but these things happen, and that's what it's kind of like. Like I say, I can't guarantee that's not it. I'm not saying that's what's going to be. I'm just saying that's what it's going to be like. You're going to get the resolution and find out the answers, but not in a way that you kind of expect. Not in a way that you may have thought would happen. Like maybe you thought that you could accuse that person. They'd go, "Oh, okay, yeah, you caught me," and you could go, "Ha, told you so." Maybe you thought you'd accuse that person and it wouldn't be true, and you'd go, "Oh, good, thank you, we can go back to normal," and it would go back to normal. But potentially, that's not going to happen. This catalyst, this change is going to be a change. A catalytic moment is not just a little change in something. It's something that's going to drastically move you from one place to another. Things get left behind. Things get moved on. Things disappear. Think of these catalytic moments as you being pushed onto a train without having chance to grab all your baggage and luggage and all your bits and pieces. You're just being pushed on it, and then you're on and choo-choo, off you go. And that stuff will never be seen again. Equally, when you get onto the train, you may try and compensate by taking on extra baggage because you've lost so much before. That's how it can work. But we'll find out how you get on with that catalytic moment next week, won't we, when we come back and do another reading for you guys born in the year of the pig. Thank you for watching. I will be back with my next reading for those born in the year of the rat. So if you are interested, I will see you then. If not, not to worry. I will see you in another reading for the pig next time. Love and peace.